Kazakhstan's coastline is officially 0 kilometers. Same page, same country. 1,894 kilometers of shore. Fifth is Burundi. The nearest salt water is 936 kilometers away. That is the Indian Ocean, on the far side of Tanzania. Burundi does have a port. It sits on Lake Tanganyika, which is the second deepest lake on Earth and the second largest by volume. None of it goes anywhere useful. The lake drains west into the Congo. Being landlocked is not an abstraction here. It is a line on every invoice. Trade costs in landlocked developing countries run about 40% above coastal ones. Every import crosses somebody else's border, on somebody else's road, under somebody else's rules. Fourth is Rwanda, 966 kilometers, 30 kilometers north of Burundi, and almost exactly as far from the sea. 2 of the 5 most landlocked countries on Earth share a border. There is a ridge running through western Rwanda called the Congo-Nile Divide. Rain landing on one side of it reaches the Atlantic. Rain on the other reaches the Mediterranean. Those 2 endpoints are about 6,000 kilometers apart. Rwanda sits on the line that separates them and can reach neither. Its nearest sea is the one that gets none of its water. Third is Uzbekistan, 1,170 kilometers to the Black Sea. There is salt water much closer than that. We are not counting it, and that will matter. Uzbekistan is not just landlocked. Every country it borders is landlocked too. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, not one of them has a coast. You have to cross 2 borders to reach salt water. That is called doubly landlocked. There are 2 such countries on Earth. Liechtenstein is the other. Liechtenstein has been one since 1918, when Austria-Hungary broke up and Austria lost the Adriatic. It was the only one for 73 years. Uzbekistan joined it in 1991. Neither country moved. The borders around them did. Uzbekistan did once have a sea of its own, the Aral. The fishing fleet is still there, at Moynak. It is sitting on sand, about 150 kilometers from any water. Second is Tajikistan, 1,273 kilometers. The nearest salt water is the Arabian Sea, past Afghanistan, and then past Pakistan. That is the straight line. The straight line goes over the Pamirs. 93% of Tajikistan is mountain, and about half of it sits above 3,000 meters. It does not quite touch Pakistan. A strip of Afghanistan runs between them. The Wakhan corridor, under 20 kilometers wide in places, and not an accident. Britain and Russia drew it in 1895, so their empires would not share a border. Both empires are gone. The strip is still there. Tajikistan's shortest route to the sea still runs around something drawn to keep 2 dead empires apart. Kyrgyzstan, 1,573 kilometers from salt water. No country on Earth has its nearest point further from the sea. Not its capital, not its center, its closest corner. It does have salt water. Istiklal is slightly saline and never freezes. A salt lake at 1,600 meters in a country as far from the sea as it is possible to be. And still, the country with the best claim to being cut off from the sea is not on this list. Kazakhstan has 1,894 kilometers of Caspian shore. The longest of the 5 countries on it, it has ports. It has a navy of about 3,000 based at Aktau. And it is landlocked because the Caspian is a lake. except that nobody has been willing to say so. In 2018, at Aktau, all 5 countries around it signed a convention on its legal status. It defines the Caspian as neither a sea nor a lake. Too big and too salty for one, no way to the ocean for the other. A third category, invented so that the question would not have to be answered. Kazakh ships can reach the ocean, 800 kilometers up the Volga and through a canal Stalin finished in 1952. 4 meters of draft and Russia's permission. And that unanswered question is what makes Uzbekistan doubly landlocked. Uzbekistan does not touch the Caspian, Kazakhstan does. If that shore is coast, Uzbekistan is ordinary. One of only 2 countries of its kind, or one of 45, depending on a word. The 5 countries entitled to settle it agreed, in writing, not to. Landlocked status derived from the map itself, not from a list.